Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the May 3rd edition of your NAACP Speaks. I am Kaleem Shabazz, the president of the Lansing branch of the NAACP, and I'm happy to welcome you to the first program in the month of May, May 3rd, Tuesday. We are heard here every Tuesday from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. on WEHA 88.7 and 100.3 FM. And as we do every week, we start off with a salute to the president and the founder of WEHA, Deacon William Hawks, and also First Lady Hawks. And we salute our very outstanding engineering staff, Stefan, Kristen, and Tehran. And we thank them for their engineering efforts. Today, we're going to have a very special guest in our 5 o'clock half hour, a young lady from Atlantic City named Nefertiti Hathaway. She is someone who has done many community activities in Atlantic City. She recently put on a very, very outstanding Juneteenth program in the Oscar McClinton Park in Atlantic City. And she is just a person who is consumed with helping young people and doing community activities and putting positive community activities on. So we're very happy to have her in our 5 o'clock half hour. I just wanted to say we appreciate the support of all our many sponsors for our breakfast, annual Freedom Fund breakfast that we had at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. We could not have the breakfast for the last 2 years because of the virus, but we felt compelled to have it this year. The breakfast was a success. It was a sellout. We had an outstanding presentation about our guest speaker, Dr. DeForest Buster Soares, who was the New Jersey Secretary of State. He is a retired pastor of a mega church in Central Jersey, and he was well received by the standing room audience. And we had honorees, some of them that you've heard on the station, and some of them you will hear as the program goes forward. And so we want to thank everyone. You can always support the NAACP. When Yolanda gets to her announcements, she will tell you how you can join the NAACP. We welcome you as members. And as our audience showed at our breakfast, we had a multicultural, multiracial, intergenerational audience. The NAACP is an organization that welcomes everyone, regardless of your ethnic background, regardless of your preference, regardless of your race or your religion or your creed. The NAACP is an organization that fights for civil rights and social justice and humanity of all people. And the attendance that we had at the breakfast showed that. And we appreciate everyone's support. We appreciate everyone's attendance. And for those who could not buy a ticket, because of our capacity, we were sold out. We appreciate the support that you wanted to show. And next year we promise to have bigger accommodations for you. And again, we thank all the sponsors. We salute all of the honorees. We thank our speaker for our breakfast, our Freedom Fund activity. Moving right along, let me just say we're coming closer to the primary election. And the NAACP encourages civic involvement. And we don't endorse candidates, but we encourage people to register, to vote, to be active, to understand the issues, to question elected officials, to put your preferences and your concerns out there so they can be acted upon. So please, ma'am, and please, sir, consider voting in the primary. And if for some reason that you defer, please vote in the November election. The November election coming up, it's going to be a very critical and vital election. We're going to have our candidates night, as we always have, to let the candidates have a chance to speak directly to people. I'm hoping that we can have it in person. That depends on the virus. If not, we will have it virtually, as we've done in the last several years, having virtual candidates nights. And I must say that they have been successful. We've had several hundred and really a couple of thousand, I shouldn't say 100, a couple of thousand people have tuned in to see our candidates night. So we're looking forward to doing that again. Having said that, we're going to turn the program over to the Queen of Radio, the Vice President of the Atlantic City branch of the NAACP, the Next Gen former president, and they're going to be coming to Atlantic City, I believe, in July, Yolanda, for the convention. Hundreds of Next Geners. And Yolanda is also the first person of color to be a partner in Cooper Levinson. And one of my sages in the barbershop, because the barbershop is a place that we have people who are experts on everything. So why do you keep saying every year, Colleen, that the Yolanda is the first person of color in Cooper Levinson? So because she is. And it is important that we lift people up who are leaders in our community, that we recognize young people who are doing positive things. And I keep saying that because it's significant that she is the first partner, but it's also significant that it took this long to get a partner of color and a woman. And it matches Judge Jackson, who's going to be on the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson, who is the first on the Supreme Court, but it took 232 years and 115 appointments to get her. So maybe it won't take that long for another partner of color to be a Cooper Levinson, or for us to make more progress. So that's why I keep saying that. I keep saying that because I wish that we were at a time when it was not a significant achievement to have a first, but we're not there. So we have to keep fighting. We have to keep struggling. We have to keep striving to make more opportunities for everyone. So I just wanted to explain to some of the audience, Yolanda, why I keep saying that and stressing that, because I think it's significant, something that we have to work on. In fact, I think one of the things we're going to do for the branch is to have an audit, a equity audit, to see where we stand in some of these firms and some of these government agencies with regard to people of color, with regard to women, with regard to their upward mobility, pay equity, all those issues. We need to make sure that we know where people are at, hold people to account, and if they're not where they should be, to give them a roadmap how they can reach equity, inclusion, and diversity. Having said that, Yolanda Melville, good afternoon.
Thank you, President. And I was thinking as you were talking about Ketanji Brown Jackson's nomination, successful nomination and appointment, as well as my ascent as of being a partner in Cooper Levinson. And I always remind people that that less than 5% of law firm partners around the country are Black. This is a profession, and Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, soon to be Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, is still a lawyer by trade. So once you become a judge, you have to be a lawyer first. And although we see all these women, Vice President Kamala Harris, also an attorney, we see these women across the country who have ascended to these roles. We've heard of Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York. Stacey Abrams is an attorney. We have to be reminded that oftentimes women and Black people in the profession burn out quickly. And why is that? It's because there's not often someone who looks like them at the top, and there's not anyone to mentor or they can role model or help to assist their path, because it's a very competitive industry. Both when you get in it, you have to take the bar, but also once you get here, it's extremely competitive to stay. So we often find people at our levels who tend to burn out and choose not to practice law anymore and find other things to do with their Juris Doctor degrees. So we want to salute those women and those persons who we see in positions of power and leadership, and also just really humble ourselves to understand that those who are bestowed with those leadership positions often have a story to tell. And often that road was not easily paved. So when you see a Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, you saw firsthand what happened at those hearings, even to the point where she was voted in and some people walked out. You have to be reminded that just because you're there doesn't mean everybody wants you there. So because you have to be there and you need to be there, it's important for you to continue to bring others with you as well, and to keep that path open so when people see you, they can emulate, and hopefully the next generation, there'll be more of us behind us. So I want to remind those in the community who see us, that we are a force to be reckoned with across the country. I'm honored to be one of a few leaders in my community who's a person of color who has been given a Juris Doctor degree and leads an organization and leads a law firm. But I certainly want to remind people that that road is not easy for all of us. So, and just keep on striving. So, so I will actually turn over to the announcements of the week. President, do you have anything to say before I turn over to the announcements after my statement?
No, I just want, also, yeah, let me say this, May 17th, as you know, is going to be, the audience doesn't know, May 17th is going to be the Chamber of Commerce event in Atlantic City at Resorts Casino Hotel, and where they're honoring a number of people. And the young professional of, I said the decade, but the young professional of the year is Yolanda Melville Esquire. And I just wanted to say, we salute you, hats off to you from the branch, all the officers and the members of the branch. We are so proud of you. And also the fans in the barbershop and even in other places are proud that you are a standard bearer and that other people recognize you. It's always good to be recognized by other people, not because you're seeking recognition, but because you're doing something that people feel are significant, and you've added so much to our community. So I just want to say congratulations in advance. May 17th is the activity at Resorts, and we plan to be there to just show people that you have support across the board.
Thank you, President. Thank you, President. I'm going to reserve my updates until after we hear from Dr. Kupini, and I know he has a busy schedule and a medical practice. And I also want to give a shout out to our studio audience of the week, Councilman Randolph.
Oh, a studio. Listen, let me just clarify Randolph's title. He's not a studio audience. He's medical assistant without a license.
Okay, that's good. He's more than welcome. Thank you, Queen of Radio. I appreciate you, and congratulations. And there are more, more to come. Okay,
Right.
And I came through one tidbit of information. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Over the 235 years of the Supreme Court nominee, I think less than 2/3 of them are actually lawyers.
Right.
By the history of this country. Yeah, it's amazing. So keep going, keep doing it. Maybe next time we're gonna find a Supreme Court nominee in the name of the Queen of Radio. Okay, all right.
I'd be honored. I don't know if I can go through that grueling practice.
That's okay. That's all right. Hey, you do it for the group. Okay?
Thank you.
You do it for us. Okay,
That's
that's all. That's all we want.
So, Doctor, what do you have this week as far as updates and things you want to tell people? It's the beginning of May. I know people are getting out. It's warm. What kinds of advice would you give someone who's still concerned about the COVID-19 pandemic?
It's interesting that you asked that question, because right now, I found out just looking through records that actually the Latino community, the Hispanic community, 80%, this is a study that was done within the Latino community. 80% agree that they were misinformed on purpose about COVID-19 and what it does. Wrong information targeted against Hispanic, and which is really it's mind-boggling. Either through the internet, which is where most of them get all this information, and 80%, it's really a shame that this is what is going on, and unfortunately, the Black community as well, also misinformed, and you see younger people and even people you should know better. They're still feeding on this false information about COVID-19 and all the variants and sub-variants that are that are out there right now. And all I can say is, please, this thing is not over. It's not over at all. Okay, we just had like a rash of infections with all this, all the so-called, people who are deniers. And as a matter of fact, recently, we had all the big guns in this country who were infected as well. Nancy Pelosi and all these big wigs, they got infected. But you know what? They were saved because they got vaccinated and boosted. And that's the key right there. And you don't have to be a big shot to be protected. All you got to do is go to the pharmacy, your pharmacy, or any pharmacy, as a matter of fact, and ask and apply to be vaccinated and boosted. Now we got the second booster that is, I think was just launched recently. People need to go ahead and get themselves boosted, and because you're not safe until you're boosted, and you're not considered vaccinated, fully vaccinated, unless you're boosted. Okay, so that's very important. Oh, I got one shot, or I got 2 shots. Yes, you did. Good job, but you're not well vaccinated yet, because the antibody level goes down. And that's the reason why you need a boost, especially for these new variants. There are 3 new variants that we know of, and there's more to come. It's not stopping. And if you remember, we talked about this some time ago, many shows ago, that indeed, this is gonna be just like a flu shot every year. That's what it boils down to. We're gonna be getting this all the time. These variants, they continue to change their shape and their form, okay? And we're fighting a spike protein issue right now. And we have to keep, the people who do the manufacturing a bit, all our scientists, they're constantly working to defeat the spike protein mutations, which is the big problem, all right? If you can attack the spike protein, you look like you're going to be successful. Moderna, and I have nothing to do with Moderna, but according to the new studies that they actually have a new booster that also protects against the new subvariants. So if you got Moderna, you're probably in a good company until Pfizer comes out with their own, okay? Because it's a race, they're gonna be, racing against each other for our good, for our own good. And that's all there is to it. Go get boosted. Don't listen to, stories from different places. And I urge Hispanic brothers and sisters to make sure that they do go ahead and get their vaccination and their boosters as needed.
That very interesting, Dr. Kupni. Let me ask you this. As we get into a warmer season, we're going to head into the time for flu shots. One of my constituents, and again, I won't call their gender or to reveal that, they said, Councilman, if I get my booster and that increases my ability to fight off COVID-19, doesn't this mean that I don't need to get the flu shot? And I hope they're listening. I said, listen, because I'm gonna ask Dr. Cupanini that question. So if you're boosted, does that mean you can skip the flu shot, or should you skip the flu shot because your defenses are up?
Well, the thing is this: we're looking at apples and oranges right here.
Okay.
We got the flu. The flu itself, that's what you are getting flu vaccine for. What flu does is beat you down. It beats your immune system down. So it will be easier for the COVID-19 to attack you.
Gotcha.
So the thing to do is make sure you get your flu shot like you always done every year, and make sure you get boosted. There's nothing wrong with double protection. It's your health. And like I always said, you only get one shot. There's only one way ticket in this world. All right. So what's wrong with protecting yourself to the max? And in my opinion, I think you should do that. Get your flu shot and get boosted.
Get your flu shot and get boosted.
That's the end of the story. I mean, you're protected once you do that, you know. Of course, nothing is 100%, but at least you know you stand a chance. And that's the old idea of vaccination.
Okay, I'm pretty sure my constituent is listening. Dr. Cupanini answered the question, get your flu shot and get boosted. And that's something I think we're gonna have to probably fight, Dr. Cupanini, because this misinformation is so strong with the Facebook and internet and all that. So
Oh, yeah.
I think we're gonna have to start saying, you know, get your flu shot. Because I hear people now, I'm tired of getting shots, Shabazz. I got 2 shots, or I got 3 shots. I said, well, I got 4 shots, and I'm ready, as Dr. Cupanini said, to do whatever it takes to make sure that I can stay here until my time is no more.
That's
But
right.
if it only takes getting a shot, I think that's easy.
Yeah, just ask him, are you tired of living? If you're not tired of living, then go ahead and get yourself protected.
Right,
I mean, you don't see a mad truck coming and all of a sudden you're gonna stand there and
right,
get out of the way.
exactly.
Okay? And that's just the way I see it. And I think that's the most scientific way of approaching the issue.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cupanini. As always, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
We value your input, and believe me, I believe it's making a difference. And I took your advice a couple of weeks, in fact, almost a month ago now, when I asked you about getting the booster. I went to Second Baptist and I got my booster, and I have, like I said, a total of 4 shots. And if something comes out in the fall, I'm gonna go get that too.
That's right. That's correct. Okay, good.
Right.
Question for you, doctor.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay.
I have a question for you before you leave.
Mhm.
What would you tell someone if they're in a group setting and they're the only one with a mask on, everyone else doesn't have their mask on? What would you tell that person?
Be proud, because you know you're not any smarter than anybody else. You're just protecting yourself. That's
Yeah.
all. The important, and then you're also sending a message to everybody else, because even if you don't have a mask on, okay, if that's what you want to do, your chances of catching even the common cold is high.
Mhm.
So when we're talking about, you know, the COVID-19 or all these variants that are coming up, you're protecting yourself, because, you know, we have to remember, we still have that, you know, that rule of 6 feet apart. It's still important, because the projectile, when somebody coughs, the projectile does not go straight to that person. It drops off. You know, the trajectory it drops off before it gets to the person who is 6 feet away. So it reduces your chances of getting infected with that, you know, from the cough. So please continue to wear your mask. And unfortunately, we have this recent ruling about the judge who has determined that nobody needs to wear masks on an airplane or on buses and all that. And I'm very, it's unfortunate, but that was the ruling. But we're gonna see a whole lot of, you know, increase in infection with either of these variants very soon, because a lot of people they're doing that. They're taking their mask off and you know, in the crowded bus or crowded, you know, aircraft. We're going to see a big rise very soon because of that. And you can only protect yourself. So put your mask on if you're going to be in a crowded place, whether it's a bus, a cab, or a train. Or you may look, you know, you may look different. I mean, they haven't started punching people with masks yet. Okay. But in the meantime, just make sure you wear your mask wherever it is that you are.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's
thank
very
you.
good advice
All right.
for everybody who's listening.
Yeah.
Please take Dr. Cupanini's advice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you, Councilman.
All right, Brother Bland, let's get to you before we get our 5 o'clock, our 5:30 guest. What am I talking about? 5 o'clock guest.
Get these folks.
Alexander Bland.
Okay.
How's everybody doing? Last week I forgot to speak on this, but I speak on it this week that COVID is real.
Right.
COVID. Let's just talk about what COVID is first before I get into what I want to say. COVID is caused by a coronavirus called SARS-CoV-2. Older adults and people who have severe underlying medical conditions like heart or lung disease or even diabetes seem to be at higher risk for developing more complications from the COVID illness. Now, last week, somebody in the hip hop community passed away. You know, as the chair of the young adults committee, I feel like is my duty to bridge the gap between by the imaginary old and young. So, and I feel like sometimes I do have to speak on hip hop topics. And last week, DJ K Slay passed away at 55 years old from COVID. He's been challenging it. He's been challenged by it for a couple months now. And it was a statement out that he was getting better, but I guess, that's as quick as you get better as quick as it'll still catch you. He has influenced artists such as Nas, Busta Rhymes, Cameron, Papoose. All are millionaires now. Rappers like 50 Cent, and he was a big impact. He still is he was a legend when he was living, and God bless his soul. He's definitely a legend now. So for people that don't think COVID is real and is not really taking lives, it is. It's a real thing, and people should get their vaccine because, like I heard before, a doctor told me that it's more predictable to get the vaccine than try to rely on your body because you don't know where COVID is going to attack your body at. But we know how we were predictable about the vaccine and its uses on getting it and how it prevents contagious. It prevents you from being in the hospital and other things, and it helps people around you. So I just want to say, rest in power, DJ K Slay, and everybody. COVID is real and it's still taking lives to this day. So I know you got a busy day today, so I don't want to hold you for that long because we got a guest. So.
Thank you so much, brother Alexander Bland, and I hope people took to heart what you said. 55, I think is young to expire. I had one of my constituents happen to be 55 years old who expired, and that's not easy. And you're right. That's the message. COVID is real. Not only COVID is real, COVID is still here, and we have to conduct ourselves accordingly. So,
absolutely, especially with the summer coming up. There's going to be a lot more people coming from all over the world in Atlantic City. Atlantic City has some exciting things coming up, and people are going to come visit from around the world. So it's important that everybody stay safe,
Yes, rest in power, DJ K Slay. So for all the hip hop heads out there, you'll know who DJ K Slay was, and he was a phenomenal music producer and DJ. So we want to thank you for that. Thank you for that, actually, Alex.
Hopefully that will encourage some young people to get vaccinated.
Right.
I mean, 55 is not really young. It's younger than my generation, but still the generations under that need to get vaccinated.
Right.
Thank you so much, Alexander. Now we're moving to our 5 o'clock half hour, and we are honored to have as our guest, Nefertiti Hathaway. Nefertiti, are you ready? I think she's coming on.
Hello.
Nefertiti, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. We're so happy to have you. We are honored to have you as our special 5 o'clock guest.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. I was telling Yolanda some of the outstanding things that you've done, and I was really very impressed with the Juneteenth program that you put on last year at the Oscar McClinton Park in Atlantic
Thank
City.
you.
I said, this young lady is a special talent. Councilman Randolph and I, we were there, enjoyed ourselves, ate too much, but it was it was a beautiful, beautiful activity, and it speaks to your talent as an organizer. I'm partial to an organizer. A couple of weeks ago, we had the Attorney General on, and he said he was an organizer. And Yolanda, she took a little offense at that because him and I bonded on the fact that we are organizers. And I'm just saying it in jest. She didn't really take offense, but it's good to be to have you on, and we're going to have you again. And we're going to start off normally. Yolanda starts off with the first question, and then we go from there. But thank you so much for your time and appearing on your NAACP Speaks. Yolanda.
Welcome, Nefertiti, to our show. We are so glad to have you. I don't want to speak much about your bio because I think there's so much you can offer about the importance of the work that you're doing. But I'll ask you to give us first 3 things about you that people may not know that you'd like to share with our audience. Oh, we can't hear you.
Muted.
Wait, you couldn't hear me the whole time?
No?
Okay. 3 things that, well, first, hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here. Now, for 3 things that people may not know about me, I am a poet, I am an artist, I paint, and I have 11 nieces and nephews. I've been an aunt for 21 years, going on 22 years now.
Okay.
That's
I may
3
have a
things.
guest, President. I
Huh?
might share a guest. So we have this ongoing rivalry that he steals all the guests from me. So I think I found a way to connect with you because I also have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I've been an aunt since I was 7.
Ooh,
So.
yeah. So you understand. You get it.
Exactly. So it's a labor of love.
A labor of love. That's exactly what it is.
That's it. Okay, so you're a poet, an artist, and you're a phenomenal aunt to many.
Yes, to many.
Okay. And you have a very powerful name, the name of a queen, African queen.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about your name if you want to?
First of all, I used to hate my name. Let's just start there. I used to hate my name being Nefertiti because kids made fun of me all the time. Like, just use your imagination, the things that people would say with the name of Nefertiti. And now I love it. I walk in it, I own it. I feel like it was given to me from I don't know exactly how my mother chose it, but I feel like she was led because she knew I was going to be something special. So now it's I just walk in, I embrace it, and I'm happy that my name is Nefertiti. That's always a conversation starter. Oh, your name, is that your real name? Yes, it is. Do you know what that means? Yes, I do know what it means. I'm really proud to be Nefertiti half the way at this point in my life.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's a powerful lesson for those who get joked and teased. You never know the power and the symbolism that you walk in by the name that you're called. So I think that's an important anecdote for young people to know. President, I'll turn it over to you for the next question.
Oh, okay. Nefertiti, as I said earlier, you produced a very successful Juneteenth event last year. And this is really a 3-part question. Number 1, can you tell the audience why Juneteenth is important? And then when is Juneteenth this year? And what are your 2022 plans for the Juneteenth event?
Okay, so Juneteenth is known as Freedom Day. That's why it's important to me because it is the official day that slaves as we know it were freed from slavery. Not, a few years prior, they were free, but people were still being held captive as slaves. And then in 1868, that's when was 1868 to 1865. I'm sorry, brain fart. But they came and they told them, like, listen, y'all are free to do whatever. And the Black people came together and they celebrated freedom. You know, I don't know exactly how they did it, but when I think about, you know, celebration, I think about food, I think about music, I think about just being together, laughing, smiling, just being happy to be around your people, be surrounded by love. And that is something that I wanted to bring to my community, because I feel like there aren't a lot of programs like that, you know, or a lot of spaces that are created that way. And I created Juneteenth the Ubuntu way, because I wanted to create that space where you can come be you unapologetically, celebrate your freedom, however you felt the need to, be proud of being Black, you know. So I just wanted to create that space for myself and my community, because again, I never even had anything like that growing up. It was a few programs, but it was nothing like that, nothing quite like that, where you could just come and be yourself unapologetically. So that is why it's important to me, because I feel like, you know, creating spaces where you can be authentically you is the best spaces to be in. So I create spaces like that often. And then the second part was when is it this year?
Yeah, no, before you get to that, why Juneteenth is important.
Did I answer why Juneteenth was important? To celebrate freedom.
Exactly.
Celebrate freedom, yeah. And create spaces, you know, to be authentically you.
Right.
That's like as simple as, you know, I can put it, to celebrate freedom and to just come and be authentically Black, beautiful in yourself.
That's, you
know,
perfect answer.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do, you know what Juneteenth is. We know what Juneteenth is, but a lot of people in the audience don't know. That's why we're asking like that, so you're educating people about.
Yeah.
Now the next part I ask, what are your 2022 plans for Juneteenth?
My 2022 plans for Juneteenth is to create the same environment. I am going to have more resources. We're going to have vending. We're going to have more performers. We're looking to have a little pony ride for the children. Oh. I'm excited about that. I am so excited about that because, you know, I've been doing this now for 5 years. This is my 5th year. So okay. I'm like, you know, what can make it a little different? And I think that pony ride will, you know, allow kids, because a lot of kids have never even seen a pony in person. So like I said, I want to create those places where you can come be yourself authentically. And if you want to fan out and be super hyped because this your first time seeing a pony, go ahead and do it. Like, you know, ride the pony, enjoy. And I am looking to have, I said more resources and stuff like that. Yeah. Not changing up too much because I still want to keep it, you know, I want to still keep the same bones from when I started, but just add in a little pizzazz with the pony ride and stuff.
The pony, I had a pony ride at a couple of things I had in Browns Park in my councilmatic district. And I'm telling you, you're right. So many of our kids in inner city areas have never seen a pony in real life. They see horses on TV, obviously, and in the movies, but to actually see a pony and to ride a pony, it is a tremendous thing. And we're going to help you. We've talked offline. I said the NAACP is going to help you. We're going to be a participant. We're going to help you with resources because Juneteenth deserves to be celebrated and expanded, and we need to make it bigger and better every year. And we're going to help you with that. Yolanda?
Thank you, President. You mentioned something that maybe people might have missed, but you said you've been doing this for 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
So you were actually doing this. Yeah, that you were actually doing this before New Jersey made Juneteenth an official state holiday.
Yeah, before anybody made it a holiday.
So what was your thought at the time when you decided the first Juneteenth? What really drew you to doing that? I know you talked about freedom and the importance of it, but why Nefertiti? Why did you choose Juneteenth and that year to plan this big event?
So it was 2018. I was 2 years removed from college. I'm like, okay, I want to do something that means something. And I started to think of just all of the things that I could do in my community. You know, I was sending out motivational messages to different people and stuff like that. And I'm like, what else how can I touch these kids, right? Because it's like, I can encourage the adults all day and tomorrow, but the adults are already adults.
Right.
The kids need a little bit more help. You know, they need a little bit more help in many different areas. So I'm thinking like, you know, what is something that could be educational, but also fun? And I didn't want to just have like a block or any old regular block party. So I remembered that my friend mentioned Juneteenth. Before 2018, I've never celebrated Juneteenth. Never celebrated it, but I heard it one time before. So I Googled and I was like, that's it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it my way. Like, I don't know exactly how to celebrate it, but I'm gonna celebrate it my way. Like, you know, and I just hit the ground running. I planned everything. I came across some, you know, a little bit of obstacles with trying to plan with a person, and they backed out on me, but I was so determined because I just wanted to create that space where it was educational, it was fun, and you were free to just be who you are. Like, I keep going back to the being unapologetically Black. Like, I just wanted to create that space. And I also wanted to, you know, put out some information so these young kids could start taking pride in being Black, you know? So that was like something that was very important for me, like to show them that being Black is the thing to be. I want to show you that it is perfectly fine to be who you are, and you can be celebrated as you are. So that's like, you know, the reason why I chose to do Juneteenth, because I wanted to do something memorable. I wanted to educate some kids. I wanted them to also have fun. I wanted them to keep coming back, want more. And here we are, year 5, and like the kids are like, you having Juneteenth again? You know, like just really happy and want to, you know, volunteer now. They want to be more involved, and I'm just elated.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Go
President?
ahead.
No, perfect. Go ahead.
Okay. Nefertiti, let me ask you this. If someone wants to be involved, wants to donate, wants to bring a resource, how would they do that for the Juneteenth for 2022?
So with donations, we are taking donations via Cash App, and we are taking checks. So our donation, our Cash App is the $UTC 19, and all of our checks are being all our checks go to Ubuntu the community. And if you want to be involved as a volunteer, or if you want to vend as well, there's a link in all of my social platform bios, but you can also email us at ubuntuthecommunity@gmail.com. So Ubuntu spell UB, look, you look, UBUNTU, the community, UBUNTU, the community@gmail.com. And all of our anything, even if you don't have social media, you can email us there and we'll get right back to you.
Okay, now give the Cash App again, please.
The $.
The $.
And then UTC 19.
Okay. The number 19, right?
Yes, 19. Yep.
Okay. And when is the Juneteenth celebration going?
Hello?
I think he's
frozen.
yeah, he's frozen. I think he was going to ask, when is the 2022 Juneteenth celebration going to be held?
So the Juneteenth, sorry, that sun is like all in my face. The Juneteenth celebration will be June 19th. It will be on a Sunday. And it will be from 4 to 8 p.m. at Oscar McClinton Park.
Okay, repeat that again. I think we lost you for a couple seconds.
It will be on it will be on Sunday, June 19th. From 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Oscar McClinton Park in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Okay. Now, Oscar McClinton Park is an outside facility. Is there a rain date, or is it rain or shine?
Rain or shine. We're going to dance in the rain with our ancestors.
Oh, okay. All right. I just want to know, because I know people will be asking, say, when is that going to be? And when you get a flyer developed, send it to the NAACP and we'll put it on our NAACP.
Oh, I have one.
platform.
Can you,
have it?
do I have your email?
I don't know. Yolanda, can you give that to her?
I think I have Miss Yolanda's email. I remember I have a text from her, so I can send it over to her email.
Okay.
Okay.
And we will put that on our social media, and
Okay.
we'll announce it when Yolanda does her announcements for NAACP announcements, because the NAACP supports the concept of Juneteenth. We have for a while, and we want to make sure that that we support you and that people know about it. And the more people know about it, the more people will attend, the bigger it will get.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. That's what we want.
Thank you.
Okay. Yolanda, do you have another question?
Absolutely. So, yes, send this to me when you can. The next question, we're going to pivot a little bit and talk about the historic nomination and appointment of Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. What is your reaction to Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's appointment?
I think that was so powerful. I do. I even think that the speech that Mr. Corey gave, like, it was just so powerful. It was one of those moments in history where I just felt very, very proud. I felt like our ancestors were smiling, kind of like he said, right? Like, it was just one of those things, like, all of these young people are now able to see someone that looks like them in a high position. Like, it's been a while, it took some fight, it took some, resilience, but she's there now. And I feel like that I'm just proud. Like, I'm just really proud to be a Black woman in this moment. Like, it was really one of those historical moments that I'm happy that I was alive to see.
Right. And, going back to what you said earlier about the importance of your name. So she starts off her nomination process, introducing herself and telling the world what her name means and why her parents named her Ketanji. So similar to your story, I'm sure she encountered people who couldn't pronounce her name, mispronounced it on purpose or not on purpose, and really try to find a way to discourage her. And she's now going to be the first Black woman on the highest court in the land. So yeah. So there's power in the name that you were called.
Yes, so much power. And I'm happy. I'm happy now that I know. And now I can see why, And I feel like that is probably how she feels as well. Like, she probably didn't like her name for a long time, like you said, but now it's like my name is being written in history, and I am proud of the name that I carry. And I want you to know my name. That's how I feel too. Like, I am proud of the name that I carry. You're going to know my name, So yeah, she's definitely a huge inspiration for, I'm pretty sure, women and men around the nation, honestly.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was going to turn it over to you, but I was going to say you have a beautiful name, and
thank you.
Just continue to do the work that you're doing, and we look forward to supporting you with the Juneteenth programming.
Thank you.
President?
Yeah, Nefertiti, I was going to say you're active in as you said, in youth activities, and you put a lot of emphasis on youth. Why is that important to you? And should it be, why is it important to you? And what kinds of help do you need to push your activities forward?
It is important to me because I know growing up, I needed way more than I received from adults. It's plain and simple as it gets. Like, I just needed a lot more support. I needed, I always say, and I'll say probably to the day I go, I wish I had a mentor. I wish I had a mentor growing up, and I just want, like, my life goal is I want to be the person that I needed when I was growing up. So any way that I can do that, I just show up, I show up because I know what it feels like to have no one show up, so I want to be that person. Well, I'm getting emotional. I know what it feels like, so I just want to be that person for anybody that needs me, for any little girl, any little boy, I want, and the thing is, I want to show them that you can be you and still make it. You know, you can be exactly who you are and be successful. You don't have to change. You don't have to whitewash yourself to be successful. I want everybody to know that, because I'm not a person who whitewash anything. I come as me 120% of the time. And I just want to show others that it is possible. You know, like, you can be you, you can do you. You can start off bad and turn into something good. You can still have a successful story. It doesn't end where it's bad at. You know, you can always make it better. As long as you got breath in your body, you can make it better. And that is something that I want to show to you. Like, you know, I'm a walking testament of that. So, you know, the youth is our future. And I just want to help them believe in themselves. You know, that is very important to me. I have to help someone believe in themselves.
Nefertiti, you starting to get me emotional now.
Right. I wrote that down. I
Seriously.
don't ever forget that.
Yeah,
Be the person I needed growing up. That's a really powerful statement.
that's strong. That's strong.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. And, you know, everyone see, you know, the things that I'm doing, and I'm grateful that now, you know, I am able to talk on the, you know, bigger platforms than I was ever. Oh, I was so emotional.
Mhm.
But bigger platforms than I've ever been able to speak on and share my story, because, you know, I am a woman that comes from the hood, you know, and I am also a woman who comes from the hood, who's building up her hood, you know, who's still a part of her community. And it's just like, I want to show these kids, like, look, you can do it. Trust me, you can do it. And you can probably be better than me, way better than me, because you got me as your mentor, you know? So it's really one of those things that's just like, that is just my passion. I'm just so passionate about it. I just want to see these kids win. That's it.
And what's so important about what you're doing is that you're highlighting that there's room for everyone to do something good. It doesn't mean because the lane is already picked up or somebody's doing it or they were at the park first, doesn't mean that your program and your community change is not as effective. There's room for everybody to build the community.
Everybody. And we better. And another thing, we're stronger together than we are apart, you know?
Right.
That's something that I want people to realize too. I've been doing a lot of things. You know, I've been the organizer, but I'm nothing without my community. Like, the community helps so much, because I get, like, you know, people can feel that. They can feel that I'm genuine. They know that I'm not doing this just to say that I'm doing something. Like, you know, they know that it's a purpose behind it. So, you know, one of the things that I've been telling myself for years, believe in yourself and others will believe in you. And that has proven me right thus far. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I've been able to receive the help from my community, because they know this is real, you know? Right. And to answer your other question of, you know, how can you help? How can people help with these events? They can come in and help facilitate. I don't always have to be the facilitator of stuff, you know? I have mentoring program and things like that. I don't have to be the only woman speaking. They tired of me. They know my story, you know, like I definitely, I want other women, other men to just step up and start leading, like, in whatever capacity they can. You know, I don't have to always be that person. I have an organization that can, you know, host these events, and that they can even come in and host events under. But I don't have to always be the one, you know, even though I am the chosen one, but I don't have to always be the one facilitating. So
I like to use the term organizer.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that, Yolanda? Organizer?
I heard it.
So you know what that means?
She's still my guest.
No. She said organizer.
I heard.
Yeah, that's our common link.
Facilitate.
Facilitate, organize.
That's still,
Thank
that's
you.
not, what should I say? Hey, say this.
No, it's right. What you said is right. He's trying to find a way to make you're so phenomenal as a guest. He's trying to take you as the guest of the show, and I will not let him. You are my guest.
Yeah. Commonalities. Organizer, facilitator.
That is
I mean, that's it. It's pretty clear. Do She's thinking now. I
I
can
was
see.
gonna
this.
have any
Look,
words.
but we both have a lot of nieces and nephews.
That's right. We
Uh,
both have a lot of nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
She was the aunt of the community before she was the aunt of the community.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I tell you what, how about it we say it's a 50-50?
Okay, that's fair. We can share Nefertiti if she will allow us to be both. She will be both of our guests for today, and we'll bring
Yeah.
her on
Okay.
close to her Juneteenth celebration to tell us more about the event.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have you back. We want to make sure this is a major, which already is a major event. We want to make sure that's a bigger major event. And we want to have you come back as we get closer to tell us some of the things that you have lined up. I think the pony
Yes.
ride is real. I'm telling you, the pony ride will be a hit. I don't care what
That
anybody
thing
says.
gonna go. I need more performers. If you guys can help me out with that, I need some good performers.
Oh, she definitely is a performer. She came in here and solicited our assistance. So that is an organizing strategy.
Yeah, we'll help you.
Y'all can help me
We'll
out
help
with some performers.
Okay,
I
okay.
need some good performers, some good dances and stuff. I have, some, but I want some more. It's the
Okay.
year
We'll
5.
see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. I want to
You
give
said,
a special shout out before we wrap up and I turn it over to the president. You were interviewed last year by a good friend of ours, Clyde Hughes at Front Runner. And so we want to give a special shout out to Clyde Hughes and make sure if people want to know more about you, that they go to that article about the work that you're doing here in the community.
Can I say something about that?
Of course.
That was the first person that reached out to me and wanted to interview me. He saw what I was doing in the community and he took initiative to interview me. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for him. And then he also put me on the top 35 under 30.
right.
That's right.
For leaders in South Jersey. And I was the only woman from Atlantic City. And I really, really do appreciate that. I do not take that light. I am so grateful. Thanks, Mr. Clyde.
Well, there'll be many more accomplishments and accolades coming your way. And so, yes, he is good like that. Finding the gems of people and making sure they're highlighted, because it goes to show that Atlantic City, particularly in South Jersey, especially, is under highlighted when it comes to the accomplishments. So congratulations. Special shout out to Mr. Hughes and congratulations on your daughter's recent wedding.
All right. We're coming to the close of our show. Nefertiti, thank you. Do you want to make a final statement?
Yes, I do. I just want to say, first off, thank you guys for having me. This was fun. I had a great time.
Okay.
And then I want to say to anyone out there listening, believe in yourself, okay? Because you are the one. You are the chosen one, okay? And I also want to say, this is one of my favorite quotes by Les Brown. It says, "What will be different because you came this way?" I want you guys to think about that because, your legacy is everything, okay? You have to leave something here. So figure out what's going to be different because you came this way. It doesn't have to be anything like anybody else. Just do it your way. That's it.
Very good.
Good advice.
Remark.
You dropped some nuggets today, some gems.
Yeah, Yolanda, closing words.
I just want to thank you, Nefertiti, for joining our show and being our first guest in May, and just making sure the community knows. Please make sure those who are not registered to vote, please do so before the upcoming deadline for the primary election. It's very important. Please register to vote.
Okay, and put on your calendar Sunday, June 19th, 4 to 9 p.m. Oscar McClinton Park.
4 to 8 p.m.
4 to 8 p.m. June 19th, Sunday, 4 to 8 p.m. at Oscar McClinton Park for Juneteenth. Be there or be square, and we're going to be talking about that. Nefertiti, thank you so much for being our special guest. We appreciate you. We honor you and we lift you up. Dr. Cupanini, our medical guru. Alexander Bland, our registered nurse, and of course, the Queen of Radio, Yolanda Melville, Esquire. Thank you so much. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. See you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.